I thought maybe I was just stuck.
No, you're not stuck, Happy. You're not stuck. Hopefully this works this time without having any resolution problem. Boy, that just annoys me. That just annoys
me. Yeah, it bugged me a little bit.
Well, it's like when you're watching on your laptop.
And, tweak things a little bit, but...
How are you liking South Mountain Creamery?
I'm really enjoying it so far, but I haven't really played enough of it to form a full opinion of the map. I'm still kind of basing it on, you know, a little bit of play here and there. So once I've actually got, you know, those crops growing and I've done my first harvest and put some animals in there and see how the animals actually work in terms of like manure and mess. And I know there's a problem with the feed trough for the cows. The mess throws out ridiculously wide, and it throws out on both sides of the trough as well for some reason. So there's a bug with the food trough for the cows. I'm sure that'll get patched. And we all know about the bug with the... Well, I'm guessing we all know about the bug with the fish. You know, in your map tour where you stopped and you waited and waited and waited until you found that fish?
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason you probably couldn't find it was because it was swimming around inside the sell point on the other side of the road. I was I was talking with Donnie the other night on Party Chat. I was just kind of setting up my map and doing a little bit of prep and stuff and driving around, and I saw the fish just go through. I was collecting all the nuggets, and there's a nugget or two over at that point, and I just saw the fish swimming through the tarmac at the sell point. I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell's going on here? And I just, yeah, it literally like 3 or 4 fish just swam past me in the middle of the concrete across the entrance to the sell point and then disappeared. So that was a very odd moment, but yeah, they came from the pond where you were waiting to find the fish on your map.
It's amazing they don't see that stuff in testing.
Yeah, there's a few bugs, but I have to say what does kind of bug me, having spent some time on the map, is just how often the planes and the birds fly overhead. It's it's like every 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's constant.
In the sky. It's way too frequent. They need to tone that right down or just remove it altogether.
What inquiring minds want to know is, how do you like the duck?
The duck? No, you mean just the ducks that quack? I've heard the quacking of the duck
just annoys me.
Yeah, I like the noise of them quacking. I haven't seen any special duck animations. You know, I haven't seen one of them like doing a Scrooge McDuck diving after coins or anything like that. But I do hear them quacking every now and again. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the quacking.
Harvest 34.
Well, let's finish up the little fields we're on, and then why don't we pick a big field to go on to and do that. 34 would be a fine one, James, because we're right here, so we can do 34. If you're just tuning in, sorry about the mishap earlier on Daytera Italica, resolution issues. We thought we'd try this again. We are on Lone Oak, and with us, we're very thankful to have Jim Bob with us on the party chat here. So, hello to you all. Good to have you. Hopefully this works better. Hopefully it seems to go okay. So we'll see how it goes.
So I'm watching on mine and laptop at the moment, and it looks a lot smoother and sharper than it did on the last one. So it'll hold for a while, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if at some point we get a little hiccup and it goes again.
Yeah. No, Trail Pat. Yeah, we were on there. We went for an hour and some odd minutes, but then the resolution got so bad. It's been happening lately. It happened to myself. It happened to us on that map. It happened to Jim Bob earlier today. So it's either a YouTube or a PSN issue that will get, hopefully will get resolved. So, yeah, hopefully they'll get resolved. Hey, Joe. Thanks, buddy. That's just the way it goes. That's just the way it goes. Yeah, I know. We were just talking here as we were getting the game set up, Jim Bob, that maps have grown on me. Daytera Italica has grown on me too. And then after watching your live stream today, I kind of had the urge to go back on that map and have another play around with it myself. Just to play around with it myself.
Oh, you mean on South Mountain Creamery?
South Mountain Creamery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not to do anything special, just on my own time to go play around with it a little bit. But there's a lot of maps that are going to come out before FS19, so...
oh yeah, I mean, we're still waiting for Shamrock Valley. That's the next map from Oxygen David. That's going to be stunning. We know it is. There are a couple of PC map tours out there already, but I generally don't tend to watch map tours on PC, PC versions of a console map that's coming out, because invariably, they look better. There's extra little animations and features that aren't going to be there on PC. Sorry, on consoles, and you kind of look at it as a case of, well, this is kind of, you get a feel for the map, but you don't get a genuine picture of what it's going to be like on console. So I like to kind of maybe watch a little bit here and there, but I tend to kind of wait until I can actually get hands-on with a map and spend some time with it, and then I'm happy to sort of say, right, I like this map or I don't like this map.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I don't like to do that either, especially PC, because there's stuff on there that you can't use.
At least that way we know that the version we're playing on is what we're going to get, rather than seeing a much shinier, prettier version of what we're going to get, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like even our good friend Trailpad says that he kind of likes Up Mountain Creamery, and he's not sure why. But then again, on Lone Oak, he said he did not like Lone Oak the first time he went on there. So I think that happens with certain maps. But Shamrock Valley looks very good. I think, is it Landy Kid that did a video on it, if I'm not mistaken?
There's a few people that have done a video on that already now. I mean, the usual sort of publicity team that Frontier have, which includes Eustace Farmer and Landy Kid and Simulation for the Nation, and there's someone else as well, I think. There's at least 3 videos up on different YouTubers at the moment. I don't think Eustace has done one yet, but...
Yeah, I don't think he's done one on Shamrock Valley, because I usually like to watch his stuff. He did one on the PC stuff. It's hard to watch that stuff because we don't have any of it for console. The farming, not the farming classics, but the modern classics. Is that what it's called?
Oh, the one that Matt XJS did. Yeah, it's a shame that we don't have that DLC. Apparently, there was one of the licenses within that selection didn't want the DLC to be released on console. Is the kind of route is what I heard in the forums from Lizardtown. So that's a bit of an odd thing to happen. And
why would they?
As to which of those licenses would it be? Would it be Case? Would it be JCB? Would it be New Holland? There was another brand in there as well somewhere. And it's like, it's just a weird thing of like, why would they not want? And the only one I can think of, maybe it might be New Holland, that they don't want the old Combine on there. I don't know. It seems, or maybe JCB, because you look at the JCB range on the base game, and it's all brand new stuff. And maybe they didn't want an old JCB in there. I don't know. I don't know the reason, the official reason as to why a particular license had an issue with that being released on console. But it's a shame we didn't get it. But what are you going to do about it?
Well, then take out the issue and just give us the rest. Unless you can't do that, maybe.
I'm sure you could.
Yeah, it just seems a bit strange. And it's also a missed opportunity for Matt XJS, because I'm sure a lot of console players, myself included, would happily have reached into their pocket and paid £5 for that. No problem at all. I mean, it's what, $5 to download that, for the PC players. So it would have been the same pricing for consoles. £5 for 3, was it 2 or 3 new tractors? I think it was 3 tractors, wasn't it? There was a Massey, admittedly a Massey that we already had from Peter but a Matt XJS version of that Massey. There was the Case, which I was really looking forward to, the 51 series, I think it was.
Yeah, the 51
500 or 5000 series. Yeah, I was really looking forward to getting my hands on that.
Series up in real life.
And then there was the old school JCB Fast Track, and then there was an older New Holland Combine, and that would have been great to have that equipment. And obviously there was a couple of other bits as well. There was like a seeder and a planter and a plough and a cultivator, I think. But it was a lot of equipment for just a £5. A hell of a lot of equipment. So I would happily have just reached in my pocket, because Matt's work is incredibly high quality. It is studio quality, so it would have looked just as good as anything that Giants would have put out. And it's just a shame that we didn't get the chance to get our hands on it.
For those of you who are just asking, we were talking about the Modern Classics, the DLC that was out for PC that didn't come out to console. So that's what the question. Is that what you're asking, Melissa, or are you asking something else? I'll try to read some of this stuff. Hey, Grease Monkey, how are you, buddy?
Whoa.
I think it's Donnie.
Getting loaded into that.
Who knows? But
That
yeah.
5150 has the 50th anniversary on it. The sticker, the case.
Is that the silver one?
Nah, it's just got the sticker on there.
Oh.
It says the 50th anniversary of case.
Okay. I was watching a video today. I thought it was one of the Modern Classics. It was a silver. That was a silver case.
They might be able to get it in silver.
Oh, I don't know.
Ours is red, and we got the 7150 or 7250.
Okay.
That's the one I run in real life.
How do you like it?
Being my first tractor driving. Well, it's not my first. I drove Kubotas, but you know, it's 20 years old. It's been through some stuff, but it's pretty comfortable.
Okay.
So,
what's your thoughts? I was reading a little bit of the chat earlier when they were talking about Kubota. That was that was a pretty bad Photoshop picture, though. You got to say that didn't make any sense. Yeah.
It was a badly photoshopped cover.
Yeah.
You know, stuck onto an Amazon listing background, and it was so bad quality that they deliberately really blurred up the image quality to make it look a little bit more plausible. But yeah, no, it was a very obviously faked cover.
Yeah.
And it had a release date of August, and yeah, it was never going to come to consoles. Yeah. And it was right around the time that we would be getting, you know, what would turn out to be the Platinum expansion as well. It was right around that point where we'd be starting to find out about the mid-cycle big update that Giants always do. So with 13 it was Titanium, with 15 it was Gold, with 17 it was Platinum. I wonder what they're going to call it for 19.
What's after Platinum?
Unobtainium.
Plutonium?
Maybe they're Avatar fans. I don't think it's going to be Plutonium. Do you really want to advertise that, you know, your DLC is radioactive?
Gamer7878, I think that's just all kind of been... I mean, everything that we know about FS19 is out there at the moment. That has all been released, so kind of go with it. I don't have any inside knowledge secrets. I don't think Jim Bob does.
No, I have the same information sources as everybody else: YouTube, forums, and Facebook. So I'm not privy to any special information that nobody else knows. You know, whatever is already out there is as much as I know.
do you get? Would you be one of the people that get an early copy of it? You think?
Well, I hope so. I'm going to ask them. I'm going to ask them if they'll provide me a copy. Typically with consoles, we don't get advanced early copies because, you know, those codes don't usually get released to the relevant stores until just before the game goes live. So, when Pure Farming was ready for release, I got my copy a day before it went live.
Yeah, I thought you got yours
on
early.
the Tuesday, and I got mine on the Monday. I got mine Monday afternoon was when I got my code. I haven't had any other games that have been given to me way in advance. I got a copy of Real Farm, but I got that I think on the day or the day after it went live. From Sedesco, and Train Sim World sent me a copy a couple of days after that had gone live as well. But that was my fault because I was late getting in touch with them. So I missed the release date. I was a week behind. I thought I was being a few days early, and it turns out I was a few days after the release date. So maybe I'd have got that maybe a day or two early, but yeah.
You gonna write Giants
because...
a letter, an email saying, "Hey, my name is Jim Bob. I would like a copy, like a console copy early."
I'll get in touch with the relevant department. I'll probably go through Lars initially, and then if I have to go through a specific department, I'll go through that. Usually there's a I'll get in touch with the company, and they'll ask me to forward relevant information to a specific person or a specific department. And then they take all that information under advisement, and sometimes I get given a game, sometimes I don't. I asked for a copy of Jurassic World Evolution, and Frontier didn't even respond to my inquiry. So some studios will do that for the small channels. Some studios won't. They'll only do it with the big channels.
It's nothing but the small people. Sadly
yeah,
enough.
It doesn't look good for you.
No, it doesn't look good for us, Happy. Don't worry, Happy. You don't need to take the 18th and the 19th of November off.
I will take it off, probably.
So you can watch my streams.
Nah, it's not that. I already have it off. I don't work.
Well, I don't. Yeah, for FS17, did they give advance copy to console?
I don't know. Honestly, don't know. I didn't even start YouTube, until the game came out in October, and I started the following March.
Okay.
So, the game had been out 6 months by the time I started.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think console got an early copy, but maybe I'm wrong.
You get a copy a couple days early. That's about it.
Yeah, like I say, because with consoles, when they give out copies, with Steam it's easy. You can give out an advanced code of the game. It's fine. It's no problem at all. It's easy to do that and download it, but you can't do that with consoles because you either have to send out an advanced copy on a disc, which they're not going to do, or you have to give them a game code, and they're not going to upload an unfinished code in advance of a release before before the actual game goes live. So yeah, it's basically once the game is done and they start getting it ready to go live on the relevant stores, be it Xbox Live or PSN, then those codes for the game, for full games, usually start to become available a day or two before the game actually goes live, and that's when they can start sending those codes out.
Right.
Well, to me that'd be like counterproductive, because if they give the copies out to you guys early, or the code, you can then be advertising for them for free.
Well, yeah, no, I don't disagree with that at all, but it's not their decision, because it's when Sony and Microsoft load the full game to sell onto their store, and once that's done, then they can start giving out codes. Because you can give out a code, but if there's nothing to claim that code against, what's the point? Here's a code. You can't use it for the next 2 weeks until the game goes live. But here's a code, kind of thing. Yeah. Until there's something to redeem that code against, there's absolutely no point giving out codes weeks in advance, because that's not it doesn't work that way for consoles. With PC it's different. You don't even have to give them a Steam code or anything like that. You can just send them advanced game code in an email. So they actually have like a demo version, or they can just send them, code of the game, in some way, shape, or form. So it's much easier to do that with PC, whereas you can't do that with consoles, because there's nowhere for you to host that file for others to go and collect it from. The only place that file can be hosted is the Microsoft Store or the PlayStation Store, and that's the retail copy that's going to be put up for sale, and it only gets loaded onto the store a couple of days in advance of it actually going live.
Hey there, FS Club. How are you, buddy? Are you guys going to start yet in the near future, sometime soon, or what? Retro Gamer. Hey, good to have you here, buddy. Welcome. Glad to see you. Can you sell grass? You can sell grass, just not on seasons. Not with seasons installed.
Yeah. Grass has no value whatsoever
No.
in seasons unless you wrap it and sell it as silage once it's fermented.
FS Club wants to know, what are you talking about, preview copies? Yeah, they came up. Wouldn't you love to have a preview copy, FS Club, just like I would, Jim Bob would? I could spend the week doing that before Happy gets his hands on it. That'd be the most satisfying thing. I would send pictures of me playing it to Happy. There you go, Happy. That'd be kind of funny.
You want to hear something funny?
What's funny? You got stuck?
A stop sign. Yeah, a stop sign has me stuck.
You got stuck in a stop
Have
sign.
you done what Minn did on Lone Oak that time
Yeah.
I last joined the chat?
You stuck in a stop sign? I got stuck in a stop sign. Are you stuck in a stop sign, Happy?
It's stuck. Yeah.
Where are you, Happy?
I'm down at the corner of the road to the farm, where it meets the main road.
Oh, Happy. You never cease to entertain us. That is for sure. You're living up to your name.
The other Massey Ferguson.
The other Massey Ferguson's in the pit.
No,
At
I mean the other harvester.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, you seem to be unstuck now, Happy.
No, I'm still stuck on it.
Mrs. Aussie says Aussie just knocks the stop signs down.
This
So you
stop
get
sign
another
is not
one.
going down.
Yeah, it's not going
Yeah, some of them are
down.
fixed items that you can't move.
Yeah, this one's not going down. Yeah, Happy, you got your. Oh, careful there, Happy. Your stop sign. You are really stuck.
I am.
Is there anything in
wait.
that trailer?
No, it isn't. I got it.
It might be better to just reset it then.
I think that's going to
I got
have to
it.
be. You got it.
No, I got it.
I think it's clipped itself into the sign, so you may possibly
Oh, there
have to
you got
reset
it.
it. Because
There
it's
you got it.
moving all over the place.
Oh, Happy, we love you.
Oh, no, there we go. Yeah, don't forget I'm watching 30-second delay footage.
Yeah, it's a delay. Yep.
Yeah, whatever the other Massey Ferguson harvester is, that's actually my harvester.
Are we claiming stuff now? Oh my.
Well, no, because this one is Susie Cream Cheese's because he got the larger header. I've got the smaller
okay.
header on mine. And my header fits on my header trailer. This one does not fit on the header trailer.
Oh.
And he didn't buy a header trailer for his.
That's right, you got stuck in the road.
Yeah, he got stuck in the road with the traffic, remember?
So
this
Jim,
is a
I was gonna
35
maybe you
Mine's a
don't want to
25.
share, don't want to give any insight, but when you get to wintertime on Lone Oak, are you going to enjoy it, or are you gonna fast forward wintertime?
I'm going to do 2 episodes to cover winter. I'm going to do one that
Okay.
covers days 1, 2, and 3, and the second episode is going to cover days 4, 5, and 6, because I have no plans to go out and do logging in my Lone Oak series. So unless there's a specific tree that I need to cut down because it's in the way of a development on the farm, you know, I plan to do 0 logging at all. You know, I want a log-free playlist this time. And so there's not really much I can do outside of refreshing the lineup of fields and equipment for the entirety of winter. You know, my ground's going to be frozen, so I can't really do any work on the fields. I've got no animals to take care of apart from my sheep, and you know, welcome to day 1 of winter. We're going to spend 5 minutes sorting out the sheep. That's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. It's 5 minutes of cleaning out the sheep. I'll see you tomorrow. It doesn't really make for great watching. Just to have 6 identical episodes that running about 5 minutes each, including intro and outro. So,
Would it not just be better to skip it?
no, because I have plans. Because as I say, I want to increase the amount of land in the off season. It's something I've been building up to is acquiring some additional land, and I also want to talk about changing my equipment lineup and maybe swapping out some bits of equipment, so maybe upgrading a seeder or getting rid of this because I don't really need it anymore. Or,
Yeah, but that would take like 5
getting
minutes
a larger
to
version of that.
explain.
Yeah, but you know, bringing the equipment in and working different ways, you know, I can make 3 days of winter into a single episode, and it doesn't have to be an hour-long episode. But you know, as I say, the first day, the first video will cover the first 3 days, and the second video will cover the second 3 days, and we'll do 2 short winter videos, and then into spring. I'm kind of holding back a little bit at the moment though, because I'm still waiting for that Northwest Oregon geo to drop, because that's going to change my planting cycle. It's going to change the weather conditions, it's going to change when grains can be planted, and it will change the ground temperatures and ambient temperatures as well. And so I could plant something on day 1 of spring, and then a new geo drops, and all of a sudden my crop is outside the window, or it's way too cold because the geo has changed, and all that crop's dead, and I've got to do all that planting again, which, you know, just looks bad and also costs me a lot of money and time. So I'm kind of trying to slow things down a little bit. I was really hoping that geo was going to go live on Friday, and it didn't. So
maybe
I'm
Monday.
keeping my fingers crossed for Monday, because it's been in testing for a week now. Maybe they've just been held up because they have released, you know, 2 maps this week. So kind of hoping that now 2 of those maps are out of the way. You know, we've still got Jade Mountain, the logging map, in testing. We've still got Hill of Slovenia. There was another new map as well. Lusatia something Lusatia.
Yeah, Lusatia.
Upper Lusatia.
Yeah, Upper Lusatia. That's still there. So that's still 3 more maps that we know of are in testing, and Shamrock Valley's got to be getting close to being submitted. So I don't think that's been sent off to Giants yet. I think that's still with the Frontier test team. But that's getting close, and you know, on my stream I kind of listed what's currently in testing, and there's still another 33 mods in the queue behind that, and no doubt, no doubt there'll be even more added over the weekend. So you know, we might get a new mod list on Monday with a whole load of stuff in testing, and still around 30 or 40 mods in the queue after that. I just really hope that geo drops nice and quickly. Maybe
Monday. I haven't seen any particulars on it. I don't think they've said anything on the particulars, but it'd be nice, because I don't think Oregon gets as much snow. You know, not a whole lot of snow. Well, not in the lower elevations. In the upper elevations, you're going to get some snow, but like down where Lone Oak would be, I wouldn't see you get that much snow. I don't know. Happy, you ever lived in Oregon? I've never lived in Oregon.
No, they don't get much snow because they're on the coast.
Yeah,
I believe.
But I think you get a kind of a cool, wet spring. Maybe a wetter summer.
Well, you do get a little bit of snow in Salem, and it's kind of 13 miles or so to the east of Salem. So that's the location, the real world location of the farm. So they do get a little bit of snow, but not a huge amount.
Yeah,
that's why I went with a North Central geo, because you snow, but you don't always get it. And I thought that might be a good stopgap until something more suitable turned up. But you know, something like the Minnesota or the Montana geos are completely unsuitable for that map.
Yeah, I can't wait to see your winter time on South Mountain Creamery. You're gonna have fun with that one. Oh boy, the Minnesota geo. I played it. I turned it on and went through a year. Holy buckets, did I get snow.
He's using the Minnesota geo from
South Mountain Creamery, yeah.
Oh man, you could double crop in Maryland. I'm gonna let you know. You can double crop. We double crop. So.
I'm just going to address a comment from Donnie in the chat. He asks why I don't make Farmer Minn the shop manager on my series as well. If you've actually watched the last couple of episodes of my Lone Oak series, you'll have heard me start referring to the manager of Manning's as Sam. Sam is actually Sam Manning, who is in real life Bullet Bill. So I've started now that you know, since the article that was published in some newspapers here in the UK last week, maybe the weekend before that, you know, it's a week or 2 ago, actually officially outed Bullet Bill as Sam Manning. I've started, you know, Manning's of Lone Oak all of a sudden makes an incredible amount of sense
yeah,
in terms of the name. So I've just started, instead of talking to the store manager at Manning's, I've actually just started referring to Sam as the manager.
They outed him in the
How did they out him?
newspapers?
I didn't hear that story.
Well, I say it's not. I don't think it was. It wasn't necessarily a secret that was never to be revealed, but yeah, it was just. It wasn't something that was made publicly aware. But I don't think it was something that he deliberately wanted to keep withheld. It was just separation of personal and public kind of thing. But they did an article about Farming Simulator, and I think I actually tweeted about it, or I retweeted the tweet that I saw. Let me see if I can find it. And they referred to how I think Farming Simulator is helping to inspire a new generation of young farmers, and they talked about Bullet Bill, because his farm, his family used to run Coldborough Park Farm until there was a big financial hit for them when grain prices suddenly tanked, and they couldn't afford to keep the farm going, so they had to move on, and they no longer have, or they no longer work at Coldborough. But they referred to him as Sam Manning, also known in the modding community, or his own version of the farm that he used to work on, and so on and so forth. So they had a little interview with Sam Manning.
Okay, that's cool.
As well as a couple of other people.
That's cool. What is the next?
I remember now. It was an interview. They interviewed a few different people, and one of the people they interviewed was Nick Welker.
Oh, okay.
Because they talked about Welker Farms, and then they kind of linked into to Bullet Bill as well.
Okay. 48, boys. Brandon, that is kind of a cowstrough. Cows Go Moo wanted to say that Mr. Sealy P was right. Jim Bob, you do have that radio voice.
Yeah, a few people have kind of supported that. As long as I don't say I have a face for radio, I won't be offended.
Face for radio, yeah. Yes, you're right, Cows. Nice, I get the big combine. Hey, Nathan, how you doing, buddy?
Crawfish Wins Gaming. What's going on, buddy?
Crawfish?
Crawfish.
Crawfish. You're awfully quiet, yeah. Go-kart jockey.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Are you feeling okay?
I am indeed.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I like that switch off go-kart when I pulled up with the other one.
Yep, that was pretty good. Yep.
Didn't even have to say anything.
Not a word was spoken. Yep.
We just did it.
This whole map is yellow.
Not anymore, not too much.
This whole map is yellow.
Not for long, it's not.
Yeah. Really? Have you guys looked at the map
lately? I found the article. If you want me to, I can read the article out. It was from a UK newspaper. It was Meet the Real Life Farmers Who Play Farming Simulator. I can read it, or I can just link it to you. Link it in the chat, and you guys can go off and read it yourselves.
Link it. Link it. I wanted to read that. That sounds pretty cool.
I've already read it. I read that when it first.
Yeah, it was tweeted out by Giants, and then sort of retweeted, I think, by Mappers Paradise. But, yeah, let me link into the chat. So whoever's a moderator will have to approve this, I think, because chats usually holds up links automatically.
Hey Brandon, the fuel point on Sussex is inside the shop across the road from the farm. What I'm trying to say, that new shop
where the gas station used to be.
Yeah, where the gas station used to be. Yep.
Right next to Field 6.
Really? Field 6, cool. Field 6, cool.
Has that popped up for approval? I've typed it in. I'm getting a little error message saying sorry, remove any web addresses and try again.
I haven't seen it.
I don't know if that's actually popped up for approval. All right. Well, I'll tell you what.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can change that.
Let me.
Absolutely, I'll see as soon as we get it up and going.
Hey, Rabbit Man.
Tweak it ever so slightly.
How you doing, Rabbit Man?
Watermelon Man and Rabbit Man.
Watermelon
no, it's not
Man.
like in my edited version of that either. I'll
Bunny Man
message it
last
to you
night.
privately, Min, and that way you can
Okay.
you can have a read of it.
All right.
Got awful quiet all of a sudden.
Green Man, Watermelon
yeah,
Man, Rabbit Man, Green
I
Man.
sent you the link on PSN, so
Okay.
that'll pop up in your messages when you're done here.
Maybe I could even type it into the messages. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you might be able to, but you'd have to. You'd have to, pause the game to be able to retrieve that,
Oh, I got it on my phone here.
or at least pause your stream.
Yeah. Oh, that's a long one. Let's see. How could I? Yeah, I don't know how I can do that. I can type out the whole thing. Yeah, I can figure that out. Oops, sorry about that. Big lot of fans for Lone Oak Farm. I'm telling you, like Lone Oak.
It's a great
good
map.
map.
I'm not at all surprised. There's a lot of people who love this map. It is absolutely fantastic, and it's quite ironic, that one of the best American maps out there at the moment, and probably it's certainly the best American map on console, has been done by a bunch of Brits.
yeah. Hey, Knickers,
Is there
how are
any
you?
American map? Or mappers? On console?
Something.
There are a few American maps. There aren't many.
But not American maps, mappers.
Oh, mappers. I'm sure there are.
Something on
I
my
mean,
shoot
I
too,
don't know.
I believe.
No, I don't. I don't think he's American. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I thought it was... Because he's done a couple of maps where the driving's on the wrong side of the road. What I refer to as the wrong side of the road.
Not the right side.
I'm trying to think. I mean, you've got Black Sheep, who I think is French.
Cooper
certainly
Crawford,
speaks
what's up, buddy?
I know that much. You've got something on my shoot too, who is, I think, either American or British. Not sure. I think British. In terms of, I'm talking in terms of like regular releases of maps here, rather than sort of one and dones. We've had, Oxygen David is obviously a Brit. Bullet Bill's obviously a Brit, and I think Red Keinstus, I think is German.
Yeah, he does a lot of, like...
He's done a nice American map in Woodshire.
What is the one that did New Bartelstag?
New Bartelshagen.
Yeah, New Bartelshagen. Yeah.
Atza VR. Yeah, I think he's German.
You like New
also
Bartelshagen
did-
or what? Happy?
He also did Vorpommern Rugen
I
as
do
well.
like him. Nobody ever wants to play him.
Oh.
I've brought that up a couple times. Nobody wants to play him.
Well.
Well,
Kind of like going and playing Old
You
Slovenian
see?
Farm.
No, it's not.
I wanted to Happy tonight. I told Happy, let's go play Old Slovenian Farm. He said no. He said no.
That's bull. Nonsense.
I get the
know.
feeling it was probably the other way around, if anything. I remember your scathing map tour of that.
Yeah, I
map.
was scathing. I'm
I
so
tried to be
looking
a
forward to
little
the
bit
Hill
more
of
diplomatic
Slovenia.
than that, but you just tore straight into it, ripped it to shreds.
I don't care. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, when Hill of Slovenia comes out, it's going to be an in-depth map tour. That's for sure.
It's going to be a bloodbath, is what it's going to be.
Yeah, it better be perfect, because I'm going to even point out wrappers on the ground, and no, I know it wasn't very nice of me, but come on, today's world, today, like you said, I think you said this actually earlier. If that map would have came out 12 months ago, it would have been a totally different story. But since then,
well, this is the thing. I mean, that was his first attempt at mapping.
I know,
at least, at the very least, first attempt at mapping for console, and on that standard, on that basis, it wasn't a bad attempt. And if you compare it to the issues that I had with it, taking out the unfinished feel, but the issues of rough terrain causing awkward and bad placement of items and things, kind of big gaps appearing under buildings and things floating a little bit. You go back and you take a critical look at Old Stream, which is a great map, but you take a really critical eye to that, the same critical eye that you used on Old Slovenian Farm, and you cast that same critical eye now on Old Stream, and there's some similarities there. There's quite a few buildings that don't sit flush to the ground. There's quite a few things that have bad placement. There's some things that look a little bit rough and a little bit hokey. So I think for a first attempt, it was a good effort. I hope the next map is going to be of a higher quality, so we can see signs of improvement and we can see progression in skills. But yeah, as I say, if that map had come out 12 months previously, then it would have, we wouldn't have cared, because at the time, don't forget, we only had a small number of maps. When Old Stream came out, we had Lawfolds, we had Chellington, and Chellington is a nice map, but it's not Oxygen David's finest work.
No,
you
exactly
look at that
right.
and you compare that to even Sandy Bay or Thornton, and it's comparing it to other Farming Sim 15 maps that were uprated for 17, and then you compare it to Oakfield, and it's rubbish in comparison. In terms of its some of the groundwork and the textures. It's horrible in comparison, and that's something that needs to be taken into account. When Old Stream came out, there were some issues with it, but it looked great for the most part. And at the time, we had like 3 maps. So we weren't exactly spoilt for choice. By the time Old Slovenian Farm came out, we had 30 plus maps. So we had a great selection to choose from, and we had some really, really high quality maps. A lot of good quality maps, but some really rich quality maps out there. And so, in direct comparison to what was already out there, didn't stand a chance. But like I say, on the Mod Hub, it's been rated as a 4-star map by over 1,000 people. As an average rating, so there's a lot of people that like it. It might not appeal to to people with a critical eye, but the people that ignore that and play it and enjoy it like it and have rated it so. So
true.
That's something that needs to be taken into consideration as well.
Yeah, I like what Cows Go Moose said, that there's a difference between being what did he say? Difference between being realistic and what do you say? Realistic and mean, or realistic and something else?
Difference between being nice and being realistic.
Yeah. And then having just constructive criticism is what he's trying to say there. I agree, and I probably
I like to try and be constructive. I know that you took exceptional issue to that map. When you did your map, so I tried to be a little bit more diplomatic and see some of the positives in the map. But it was never a map that I was ever going to play.
No.
I had too many personal issues with it to be comfortable doing any kind of gameplay on it, especially sort of recorded gameplay. I would be constantly finding fault with things and complaining about this and complaining about that, and that would do me no favors, and it would certainly do the map no favors. So You know, yeah, that's why I tried to be as diplomatic as I could, but it was the only map that I've come out with a map tour on that was more negative than positive.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's exactly right. How do you walk through a map and say, oh, there's a fence in the ground. Oh, there's a field going across the road.
But I did try and put that negativity into context rather than just being negative for the sake of being negative.
Well, at that point in time, I probably had maybe 10 subscribers, and I could give a rat's.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you were just starting out.
Yeah, I didn't care.
You know, you just kind of just go with it. But
I'm gonna go with it. Yep. Yeah, which in hindsight is kind of mean, because I always had that philosophy now that you know, we should be thankful for the mods we get, but I do also think that there has to be there's a level, there's a bar that's been raised, and
yes, no, I completely agree. I completely agree that, you know, there needs to be some kind of standard. That, you know, this is what we want to see in terms of an acceptable level of quality, and that has gone up as time has progressed, because the map makers have got better and better at doing what they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as I say, at the same time, I say there has to be context, and I think, personally, as content creators, you know, we have a responsibility as well to be impartial, but also to be objective, and not to be overly negative about something. You know, I always try and present a map in its best possible light, and sometimes that just isn't possible. There are, you know, one or two maps. There's one map in particular that I never even bothered. Well, I tried for about 10 minutes and just gave up trying to record a map tour for, because I couldn't find anything nice to say, and in that situation I felt it was better to just not record
something, not do it at all,
than just record completely negative from start to finish. And as the bigger our audiences get, the more people that our opinions are being voiced to, so, you know, the more our influence can kind of grow and spread to other people as well, and that needs to be taken into consideration. You know, if we go out and if we say had a channel with like 100,000 subscribers each, and we both came out and we said this map's terrible, avoid it like the plague, that would spread to a huge number of people very, very quickly, and would have a huge knock-on effect. You know, when you're a very small channel, you know, you can kind of just say whatever you want. Not that many people hear it.
Yeah.
As the channel grows and you start picking up new people, some people will just stick to the new stuff because that's what they came to see, but there are some that will go back through and watch everything you've ever recorded.
Yeah.
And, you know, you kind of sometimes have to police your own content a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I agree with what Carlos Gomu said. I shouldn't have, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have gone so negative on White Bull modding. I should have been more angry with Giants for passing the map in the first place than I was. Because I think Giants should have done, I mean, you know, I'm not a map modder. I don't know what maps get rejected for these days, if it's just minor things or whatever thing or whatever, but
well,
I mean, there's certain...
that's the other thing. It's not just what Giants reject. We don't know how hard it is to make a map either.
Yeah, that's true.
We have no experience in the creation of mods. So again, it's all very well enough for us to turn around and say this mod's crap, it's rubbish, it's, you know, it's a waste of time, a waste of space.
Yeah.
But we have no context as to how hard it is to actually make that mod, and then not only that, to then convert that to console, which we know third party through people like Bullet Bill is incredibly complicated and time consuming to do. So, you know, we have to bear that in mind as well. We can't just slate something with no appreciation of the amount of time, effort, and that was put into actually trying to make it in the first place. You know, that becomes a bit callous on our part, I think.
Yeah.
So
that's the way it is. You live and learn.
I mean, as I say, I was more a little bit more brutal with my opinions of mods when I first started out, and I've kind of mellowed out a bit as I've, you know, come to appreciate how much time is needed to create some of these things. You know, like when Aaron recently had a little rant at me about the 1050 over a simple misunderstanding. You know, it took him 7 months. Once he bought the model itself, it took him 7 months to do the work that was needed to actually make it a mod, and then that's also to make it console compatible as well. And 7 months is a long time, despite paying like 150 euros for the actual model of the 1050 itself. All the coding and everything that had to be done to go with it, and the conversion to console, took him 7 months to do. So he quite rightly got very angry when he saw someone else's name being attributed to the creator of the mod, because obviously that wasn't the case, and it kind of belittled his involvement. So yeah, it's something that we have to bear in mind. We can't just turn around and rip a mod to shreds just because we don't like it, because it completely undermines all the time, effort, and in some cases money that has gone into actually making that mod and then converting it to console. We have to bear that in mind.
I want to be devil's
I don't see
advocate
that, Cows. I didn't miss a spot. I don't know what you're talking about.
Be devil's advocate for a second. What about the people that actually tune in?
Do you really want to say hi, Sharma? Anyways, go ahead. Go ahead, Happy. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
No, go ahead.
But what about the people that tune into your viewers that actually rely on you to give them
good point.
Opinion?
Good point,
yes,
Happy.
No, again, there are some people that will tune in to get an honest opinion or something, but
because I remember I tuned in for the the old Slovenia farm on before me and Farmer Minn actually knew each other. I said, thank you for the mod tour, you saved me some time. I didn't have to go through looking through it. I saw what I saw, and I didn't like it either.
I mean, I agree that we have a responsibility to our viewers to present our own opinions, but they need to be tempered. They can't just be brutal, hardcore, cut straight to the knife. It's gonna be a very polarizing thing, any map tour that we put out, because it's always based on our own personal opinion. And Min and I could both look at a map and have completely different reactions to it. Min could absolutely love a map that I hate, or vice versa. I could love a map and recommend it, and Min could hate the map and say it's rubbish. Don't touch it with a barge pole. Everyone's own sort of map tour is a subjective opinion based on their own interpretation of what they've seen.
Sorry.
So you can't. That has to be sort of factored into it. But I think there's a way. If you're gonna say that this isn't necessarily something that's worth doing, I think there's a way to actually present that rather than a brutal thing. I think the bigger a channel gets, the more you have to take everybody into consideration. You have to balance it. You have to balance the negativity with a reason why, and be a bit more diplomatic. When you're a small, fresh starting channel, you can do whatever you want because there's going to be absolutely zero blowback. But the bigger your channel gets, when you start to have a very polarizing opinion, all of a sudden you risk completely alienating part of your audience. There'll be some that will praise you and thank you for it, and others that will say, how can you go off on a model like that? It's disrespectful, blah 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 blah. And boom, one honest opinion can end up costing you half your subscriptions. So you see some of these larger channels, they have these controversies all the time, not necessarily just Farming Simulator, but gaming channels, not even gaming channels, just any channel out there. They'll come out with one opinion that polarizes their audience, that they wouldn't even have thought would have that effect, and it can cause catastrophe and kill the channel dead. And so that's something to bear in mind. It's tempering your opinions and presenting them in a diplomatic way, I think. And the bigger you get, the more of a responsibility you have to do that.
That's very true.
There comes a fine line where you walk where you're being diplomatic and you're just sitting on the fence. And again, you just sit on the fence and you refuse to have an opinion either way, and that can again alienate your audience. So the bigger you get, the harder it becomes. It's not a case of as the channel grows that you get to a certain point and it's all happy days from that on, and your video channel just gets bigger. There comes a point where something will happen and will affect your channel in one of a couple of different ways. And it's all about minimizing the times that's going to happen.
Hey, Matthew.
I'm the type of person. I want a realistic, honest opinion. When somebody is showing me something, I don't want them to sugarcoat it. I want the real thing.
Oh, no.
I want the real deal, you know, and that's one of the reasons I started following Farmer Minn.
Golf cart.
He doesn't hold back any punches.
I saw that.
I was napping.
Like I
Sorry.
said, different channels have different ways of doing things, and I'm not saying that my way is the only way to do things, and I'm not saying that Min's way is the only way to do things. There are different channels will attract different audiences because of the way that they do things. So I can't stand Angry Joe, for example. I hate the way he does his game reviews, and he just goes on these obscure 40-minute rants about a game that half of which is put on because it's just scripted that way. And he does these, these silly
Because
little
his viewers
skits.
follow him because of it.
But they follow him because of that. But he also is
Not
a very
because
polarized. There's very little middle ground with Angry Joe, and there are other people out there as well. Keemstar is a horrible, horrible excuse of a person, and somehow is still able to front a YouTube channel. He is a despicable human being, and yet he is still the face of that. He is still the face of like a news channel that takes great delight in other channels' meltdowns. He's a gossip peddler basically, and he's also in his.
I'm almost full.
As he's been exposed many times for horrible, homophobic, racist, sexist comments, death threats, all sorts of things. He's just a very, very vile person, and yet he has a huge following. He's one of those, again, incredibly polarizing people. A lot of people absolutely hate him with an absolute passion. A lot of people love him, and there's no real middle ground. You don't have a neutral opinion. You hate him or you love him.
Are you talking about our president?
There are people out there that do that.
Yeah, I was thinking he was talking about Donald Trump.
I thought you were talking about Trump there for a second.
That's the way the world works, though.
Yes,
it is, and it's if you want to be a polarizing figure like that, then by all means go ahead and do that. But you have to understand that with all the adulation you'll get from your army of fans will come the wave of negativity and hate that will come from your haters. And if you don't want that daily barrage of hate, then you have to take a softer stance. I think you have to not be quite so deliberately polarizing.
Nah, I refuse to do it.
I don't know. On Ranch makes a good point that you got to realize that when a YouTuber says something about it, it's just their opinion.
Seriously.
Yeah, but in the modern age, nobody's allowed an opinion.
No, you can't have an opinion these days. I am your
because that
father.
opinion gets shared. There's no privacy on the internet anymore. So you say anything, and it goes everywhere. You say something, racist, and it's spread everywhere instantly. You say something sexist or homophobic, it's spread everywhere instantly, and you're immediately labelled. And when you have a channel that you want eventually to potentially become your business, you have to avoid controversies like that because they can kill before you even get started. It's why I don't discuss religion or politics or anything like that on my channel at all, because it's a very, very polarizing issue. I mean, I have my own opinions on religion, I have my own opinions on politics, both foreign and domestic, and for me to have an opinion on American politics is a very risky thing for me to do, because the largest percentage of any country that makes up my audience is American. So if I have coming out with pro-Republican or pro-Democrat views on my channel, I'm immediately risking alienating half of my American audience. Because American politics is so polarizing, there is no real middle ground. It's become so bipartisan that it's the same in the UK. We have Labour and Conservative, and it's the same kind of thing. It's becoming very, very polarizing in this country. It's not quite to the same extent as is in the US yet, but our politics are becoming very bipartisan, because the third party that we had, because we have a multi-party system, but the third party that we had kind of blew itself up. So it's effectively it's a two-horse race, and again,
But
you
you're
start
looking to
expressing
make a
opinions
business
one way
out
or
of it.
another, and you start to lose, a chunk of your audience because they have very, very different opinions to you. Just hearing one little bit of information like that can dramatically change your opinion on somebody. We all see it, we all do it, we all silently judge people whenever we find out a little bit of information about people. We go, "Ooh, I didn't know that."
Yeah.
And it makes you think, do I really want to associate myself with this person anymore? And so,
But
like I said,
you had just mentioned people that have large followings that you term, what was it? I can't remember the names of the people, but
polar.
yeah, they're completely
You love them or you hate
open
them.
and you love them or you hate them type people, and they have large followings, right?
Yeah, and it depends. Well,
So
they have
and
large followings,
they make it,
but they
they
also
make
have
it into a business by love and hate.
yeah.
So it's
But
kind of-
you have to look at the two. Praying for the sake of their channel is the first
Well,
thing.
ain't we all just
And secondly,
acting?
are you equipped to deal, if you want to be that kind of polarizing person, are you mentally equipped to deal with the barrage of non-stop hate that you'll get from the people that don't like you? And I know that, I'm not mentally strong enough to put up with all of that. There's no way I could, as a character, become a polarizing person like that. I'm not like that naturally. I have my own opinions and I will discuss them among friends, but I will never discuss them on a public forum like this because I'm going to immediately annoy a lot of people. I'll get some cheers, I'll get some boos, but I don't want to upset people. I come onto YouTube and for my channel just to have a good time and just relax and enjoy my gaming, and I want to focus on my gaming, and anything else is just noise. It doesn't need to be there for the purposes of what I'm doing. So that's the way I look at it, and I know, because I have had mental health issues and I am autistic, I know that if I were to deliberately try and position myself to be a very polarizing figure like that, I would immediately put myself under a lot of mental pressure, and that hate would build and build and build, as it would just it would not be healthy for me, and it would not do me any good in the long run. So I wouldn't want to sacrifice my sanity for the sake of chasing an audience that I don't even monetize.
I'll pass
I
that
thought
on,
you were trying to
Knickers.
make a business up.
At what
Oh, in the
point?
future, maybe, but
At what point do you
I'm
think a
long
YouTube
way.
channel becomes a business?
I think you
100,000?
probably
in what?
need. I think you probably need sort of, a regular sort of. You need to be regularly hitting up towards 5 figures on each of your videos.
That to me just seems depressing.
Because from what I understand, you get paid, something like $5 for every 1,000 views on a video that has successful advertising.
Yeah, I thought it was even less than that. That was like $3, but maybe it's more.
It's not much.
No,
it's not
pennies.
much, and then you have the exchange rate, and so $5 is actually
James, stop.
It's not £5. It's less than that in this currency. So there's you have to be hitting large view numbers on videos, pretty much every single video you ever put out. And if you're making hundreds upon thousands of hits per video, then you can not need to put out videos with incredible frequency. You can slow down your process a bit, and you can really spend time working and investing on your process and really putting together something over a period of time that you then hope will get you a next big payday kind of thing. But if you're a small channel, you need to be you can't run it as a business until you have I would say sort of 30,000-40,000 subscribers.
Oh, I
that
thought even
are
higher than
watching
that.
on a regular basis.
Yeah, but you got to have views, constant views.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can have all the subscribers in the world, but if they're not watching your videos, it doesn't
It doesn't matter.
do any favors. You can have 100,000 subscribers, but if you're only averaging 2,000 2,000 views per video, then where the hell are the other 98,000 subscribers? Why are they not watching your stuff?
Yeah. I don't know. I just do it for fun. and enjoy
I
the
do it for
videos,
fun,
and enjoy
with,
talking to
with
people.
the hope that maybe in the future I could perhaps, if the channel grows to a point where it gets really big, maybe I can actually do it as a living. But it's, I'm unemployed. I'm on government assistance, and I try and monetize my channel now, and I might make a little bit of money here and a little bit of money there, but it would completely, screw up, my government assistance, and that would just end everything.
Well, being a full-time YouTuber would really complicate my real farming duties, so I can't worry about that.
Yeah, I mean, if you already have a job and this is just something you do for fun, then it doesn't matter how many subscribers you got. You just monetize everything once you have enough. Once you've met the requirements, and any extra you get is a nice little bit of pocket money. But if you're not in work and you're living on benefits, then those benefits are tied to any income you get.
Yeah.
And, when you start getting an irregular income that can be quite nice 1 month and then be nothing for 3 months, that completely screws up any chance you have of any semblance of normality, because you're constantly having to cancel benefits, reapply for benefits, cancel benefits, reapply for benefits. It screws up being able to cover rent. It screws up being able to pay utilities, to buy food, anything, the bare essentials. It screws up everything. So I'm just not in a position to monetize my videos, because
I think channels can be over monetized too as well.
Yeah, that's the other thing as well. I mean, if you watch some of the big channels that have a lot of advertising, you get a big video advertising advertisement pop up before the video starts, and then you get the banners popping up all the way through the video, and then you might go 2 minutes into the video and boom, there's another 30-second advert suddenly pop up in the middle of a conversation. And you get through that and you hit the skip button and you go another couple of minutes and there's another advert, and it's just like, really? I can't even get through 5 minutes without 2 adverts popping up. It's frustrating watching when that thing happens. So that's the other thing as well. Sometimes monetizing a channel can actually cause a turn in your views because people get fed up with the adverts.
Yep. Hey, Cows Go Moo. I am going to subscribe to your channel. Let's see, I gotta find it now. Boy, you search Cows Go Moo on YouTube, all kinds of stuff pops up. Man, you've got all kinds of animal sounds.
Some of it probably not family friendly.
There's all kinds of stuff under Cows Go Moo. Mama cows, baby cows, look at that. Cows mooing after 6 hours. Wild West cows, look at that. The Moo Cow song, holy buckets. I'll have to look in that more, Cows Go Moo. But yeah.
Everybody take a drink. Min said holy buckets.
Yeah, drink. Drink. Yep. Hey, there you go. Look at that. The yellow combines are leading the red combines.
Yeah, I think it was episode 14 of your Lone Oak series when I was watching that and you were just saying holy buckets a lot, and I thought, new drinking game. Whenever Min says holy buckets, you take a drink. And then I got on to the next episode, episode 15, and you responded because you'd seen the comment by that point.
Yeah.
And I was about 15, 20 minutes into the video, and I'd already lost count of how many times you said holy buckets in that one.
Is that the one where it goes holy buckets, holy buckets, holy buckets, holy buckets?
Yeah, it was well into the double digits within like 10 minutes. Yeah, it was just
yeah.
Every like, oh, holy buckets.
Yeah, I saw that comment. So the next day, the next episode, I had to say it.
I heard you started to toast
Jim
it
Bob
as well.
says we all
holy
have
buckets,
to drink.
and you catch yourself and you say cheers.
Yeah. Okay, go to the channel. Okay, I got you there, Brandon. Go to channel. Cows Go Moo, you don't even have a video out, buddy.
I had 10 subscribers before I had a video.
Cows Go Moo has no videos and 7 subscribers. Well, 8 now. I'll be nice. That's kind of funny. Oh, I remember that. I think the first video I put out was my Woodshire map tour, and I called my mom, my sister, my cousin, said, "You got to go subscribe. I can't sit here with 0." but it's fun. It's fun watching it. You know, it's funny though, and maybe it's just me. If it's just me, then I really suck. But watching, you know, you gain some subscribers, then you lose some subscribers, and you gain some, then you lose some. Interesting how
I lose
that works.
subscribers on an almost daily basis, but they're tempered by gaining more than I lose. So sometimes
you know,
it's
like
just,
you go into your
someone's
analytics
clicked
and
in
look at.
Yeah, you see how many you lose on a daily basis. You see how many you gain
Boy,
on
I
a daily
suck.
basis. As long as your gains outweigh your negatives, then it's fine. But when I had that sort of illness and I had 3 months off, my channel still grew very, very slowly, but it still grew a little bit. But just towards the end, just literally like the last couple of days before I came back, I did actually have a couple of negative dips on my daily sort of subscriber count.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, I thought you were done with, and so I unsubscribed to you, and then I had to go resubscribe
How
to you.
dare you?
Yeah, I'll be
How
honest with
happy was that one person?
you.
Yep. And then, of course, then you get the habitual disliker
Logging on,
person.
ban happy from
Ban
YouTube.
happy. Ban happy from
That's
YouTube.
fine. I'm okay with it. You can ban me if you want to.
Nobody wants to ban
No,
you happy.
I'd never ban happy.
I'm the only person that's going on there and asked for thumbs down, I think. I ask people to give me thumbs down. Don't put in that truck.
What is going on
That truck
there?
is... I was forging it.
So you parked a semi with grass in the,
No, I was forging the soybeans.
Oh. What are you doing that
These
for?
are my, this is my
Nicholas
field.
wants to know, is it more important on YouTube for views, subscribers, or likes? It depends on if you're trying to monetize your content, then it's views. Likes don't impact your views, but likes do impact your interaction algorithm, as do dislikes. That's the thing as well. A lot of people just will dislike a video, you know, for whatever reason. You know, they didn't like the content, or you know, they didn't like a particular map. So no matter how good a job you did of presenting, you know, your tour of that map, they'll thumbs down because they didn't like the map, not because they didn't like your tour of the map. And some people just like to mess with you, so they'll just thumbs down just for the sake of giving you a thumbs down, because you know it's a way to screw with you. But any thumbs up or thumbs down just boosts the interaction algorithm for that video. So a thumbs down only has a negative impact in terms of the visual of it's got a thumbs down. In terms of the actual engagement of the audience, it's a plus. Yeah, so you can vote thumbs up, you can vote thumbs down. They both count as exactly the same thing for the interaction algorithm. And the higher the interaction algorithm, then you know it helps boost the video in suggested videos, in like the suggested videos or up next tabs, things like that. You know the you know, why not check out this kind of thing? You know, the more interactions a video has, you know, the more chance it has of getting picked up in one of those sort of playlists. Monetize, then it's all about the views. You know, likes help. They help get it into more prominent places on certain algorithms and playlists. But you know, it's all about the views. The views are what determine how much money you're going to make, assuming, of course, that it's monetized and there are adverts on it.
Yeah.
You can have 100,000 views on a video, but if it's not monetized or there's no advertising attached to that video, you're making sweet FA.
And I can say from personal experience that getting monetized is not an easy process. It takes a while.
You need to, if I remember rightly, you need to hit a certain target before you can even try to monetize your content. I'm going to quickly pull up the requirements on my channel.
Well, everything, like on my channel, I'm just going to do it for my channel, for example. If I pull up my channel because I hit 1,000, I don't know, what was it, happy, almost a month ago maybe? No, not even that long.
Yeah.
2-3 weeks ago maybe?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and it says, when you go in there, it says, your channel automatically goes to review for monetization. We will email you with our decision. This could take up to a month, is what my thing says. And the first time I read that, it said a week. and then it changed to a month. So YouTube is having, not that I really care. I mean, I really do not care that much because I'm not going to have my videos peltered with ads. But it just goes to show that YouTube is so far behind trying to get all these channels, you know, because everybody wants to be a YouTuber for some reason. I don't know why.
Everyone wants to sit on their backside and play games for a living.
Your butt would get sore for crying out loud. Yeah, you know. I mean, it's
but
very.
There are certain things you have to do before you can even start to do certain things. So, like, you have a 15-minute video limit, and you have to get 10,000 views on your channel as a total number of views before you can upload videos longer than 15 minutes. You know, it's the same with monetization. You have to go through, you know, a whole process before you can actually be monetized. You know, I'm eligible for consideration, but I still have to apply. You know, and you know, I'm not doing that right now.
The one thing I wish I did have is on the my channel page, your YouTube page. I wish I had the community button instead of the discussion button. And you need 10,000 subscribers to get that button.
Well, I don't know if it's confirmed at 10,000. There are some people have had it at less than that. Other people have had it at more than that.
Every forum, everything that I've read, the general consensus is around. But
I mean, that seems to be the general consensus. But I don't think it's been pushed out to everybody in general yet. I think it's still something that they're rolling out. You know, they only started testing it last year, I think, was when they first started releasing it, and they only released it to certain people to start with. And then they set some certain requirements, and there's no guarantee that those are static requirements. They could change, the goalposts could keep moving on that, you know, while they're still going through this testing process. And I'm hoping that's going to get rolled out, and I'd love to have it, but yeah, I don't have that either. And I don't think CDP has it either. I think he still just has a discussion tab.
No, I think he has the community, but I don't think he's ever used it. Let me see. Yeah, it says community. Yeah.
Oh, he actually has the community. Oh, so maybe yeah, he does. Yeah. So maybe it is 10,000 then. You know, in which case I'm not even halfway yet.
Yeah, that button I wish I had. I originally thought it was 1,000, so I was so excited, but then I realized that it was not just 1,000. So.
Oh yeah, no, it's not 1,000.
No. Oh well, I don't care anyways. Yeah, I do. It really makes me sad, but I'm just going to say that to make myself feel better. Hey, Zach, how you doing? How many subscribers do you have? Gamer7878.
I got 90.
Happy, you are cruising right along.
Yep.
You're going to have to do a 24-hour live stream for your 100th subscriber. Oh,
no. I don't do that stuff.
Oh God, no! Save the really big things for when you get a really big number. 100 is a big number when you're first starting out, but in the grand scheme of things, 100 isn't really that big a number. You certainly don't want to be killing yourself with a 24-hour live stream. Just what are you gonna do? You can start banning people from your channel when you get to 99.
Yeah.
Can I do that?
Happy.
Well, you can ban them, but all it does is it stops them from commenting or you know, liking or /disliking one of your videos. You know, it doesn't unsubscribe them. You know, they have the power to subscribe or unsubscribe. You have the power to just stop them from interacting with your videos, but they can still watch and they can still be subscribed.
Do they know they're banned? That's going to be a good question.
Yeah, because if they try and post on something, it says you do not have permission to do this.
but then they would just change their name or go get another account, wouldn't they?
It depends how badly they want to mess with you, I suppose.
Yeah, well, yeah.
If you've annoyed somebody enough that they have to go out there and create multiple fake accounts just to mess with you, then then they're either very, very twisted people or you've done something very, very bad.
I don't know what I did to make. Where are you going, James?
I was just continuing on my row.
Okay. I'll go here then, James. Because you're a legend, Cows Go Moo. You don't even have to do anything and keep getting subscribers. Now you have 8 Cows Go Moo.
He has 8 cows that go moo?
8 cow. He has 8 cows that go moo. Yep.
One for each sub.
One for each sub. How you doing, golf cart jockey?
I'm just happy to be here.
Okay, you're awfully quiet, my friend. What are you doing? Are you combining or are you driving truck?
I'm wearing many hats tonight.
Many hats? You're a man of many talents?
Yep.
Okay.
I drive whatever y'all leave the keys in, so.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Did I do something to make Aussie and Mrs. Aussie very mad at me?
I don't suppose so.
Oh,
Do you feel
okay.
guilty about something?
Nothing. No, I'm good.
No? Okay.
Are you worried about upsetting people again?
No, I could care less if I upset somebody.
I don't believe that.
Mrs. Aussie says they're just over here keeping me entertained.
Oh, okay.
And that they are.
Good. You need to be entertained.
That's right, I do.
Are you not entertained?
It's in the flippin' title.
You clicked the button.
Oh, I think we gotta finish this field. Then call her a night when it gets too dark here.
It's getting dark.
So how you like, I gotta ask Jim Bubba about Train Simulator because he made me buy that game. But it seems a little too complicated for me.
In my live stream that you said that you'd purchased it,
Yeah.
are you enjoying it?
Oh, I haven't really quite figured it out yet. Now that my son is gone for 3 days here, I can maybe give it some more attention.
You bought another game.
Yeah, Train
Can't
Sim.
believe you.
What? I want to try it.
I can't believe it.
Well, it's just a game, Happy. It's not like I went out and started a second channel and gonna do videos on Fortnite.
You got a second channel that you're doing Fortnite on?
He's got the Fortnite.
You didn't know that?
Fortnite Minn. Yeah, it's Fortnite Minn. Go check it out.
Yeah, no, Sniper Minn.
Yeah. You didn't know that, Happy?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. No,
Oh,
I don't
that's
have
it.
it. I don't have it. But I'm gonna go right now and get the name Fortnite Minn because I kind of like that. Probably taken though. Somebody's probably doing it right now just to piss me off. But
I'm going out and getting a truck simulator game then.
you gonna buy a
Hey,
PC?
Nicholson's on.
No, I'm not getting a PC.
You're waiting for the one that comes out shortly, or not shortly? Do you have any? When does that come out?
Truck Driver.
Do you know, Jimbo?
I don't know. It's not been announced as a release date yet. All I know is it's going to happen later this year. Maybe they'll pop a release date, after Gamescom, which is this month. So
Okay.
not too long to wait to find out some more information about FS19 because gameplay footage will start leaking onto YouTube. People will be at Gamescom because it's in Germany. So they'll be there with farming sim players. There's a lot of farming simulator players in Germany. They'll be heading to Gamescom with their mobile phones and their camcorders, and they'll be screen grabbing whatever's going on the display booths and the demo booths, and that footage will start to leak up. That's exactly what happened with 17. I
Yeah.
expect it to be exactly the same with 19. We'll start to see stuff. We'll actually see things in operation. I remember with 17, we actually
Just
saw
park there,
people
Mono.
using the tip mechanics with the manure on the side of the field, and the drivable train, which was new, and obviously, some of the in-game stuff that was new, like the case 1660 and other bits and bobs. So yeah, we'll see some footage soon. It won't necessarily be official released footage from Giants, but it'll be footage from Gamescom, and so some of it will be a little wobbly and a little jerky. Some of it might be a bit out of focus at times, and I guarantee it'll be put to a really annoying techno track. But we'll see. we'll see some farming sim footage appear on YouTube. Some of Farming Sim 19 in the next few weeks.
Cool.
But yeah, as far as Truck Driver goes, no, I don't know anything more than Tedesco have announced so far, which is that it's coming later this year, and that's it.
Other than this.
Well, there's Grand Theft Auto. You can go
Yeah.
first person in the truck and just drive that around on the PCH, but that's about it.
That works.
Yeah.
One of these days, I'm gonna have to buy a PC.
I was down there. I was talking to the guy the other day, Happy. I had the specs. I was ready to go. You know what is just irritating the living daylights out of me is how long it has taken me to upload a video recently. It's just aggravating me. And granted, I've done them all the ways. I've done every possible way to do it, and it's just oh well.
It's funny you should say that, because I know you said you were having some issues trying to get your video uploaded, and which was the map tour. I think it was South Mountain Creamery map tour. I had that recorded, and normally when a map tour comes out, a video I'll normally transfer onto my laptop and then just use my Wi-Fi to upload that, and it will take a few hours, but it'll get done, and I can schedule it, and it'll just go live whenever it needs to go live. With something that needs to go live as soon as it's uploaded, kind of thing, go instantly live. I tend to upload those things like map tours, for example. I want to get those out as quickly as I can, because I know that everybody else is putting their map tours up at the same time.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why my my map tour of the Valley of the Old Farm has got more than CDPs, because my map tour was up for like a day before his was.
Yeah.
So I got some very early traction, because that was a very highly anticipated map at the time, and I'd already gone into like nearly 2,000 views by the time his was up, and so mine had a big head start, and so it popped up ahead of his in the suggested videos boxes. But normally, because he has such a big audience, his hits 1,000 within a couple of hours, and mine takes a couple of days to get that close.
Yeah.
Golf cart.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I put my video on my phone to upload on South Mountain Creamery, and it took hours and hours and hours to upload. It took like 4 hours to upload a video that normally takes maybe 50 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on today.
It's been slow for me as well. Deterra Italica was a bit slow to upload as well. I don't know.
Yeah, like
if
I
it's,
did a Lone Oak episode, and it seemed like it went on all day today. All day that it took me to get the thing. And I did it, this time I did it to flash drive, and the flash drive wasn't, well, no, see, the flash drive took frickin' forever to get from my PlayStation onto my flash drive. So I don't know what the heck happened. But
did you have something on that already? Because that could be the reason why. I tend to find when I'm transferring a file, if I'm transferring one file, it'll go quickly. If I'm transferring 2 or more files, it goes very slowly.
Yeah, no,
or if there's something already on there, it goes very slowly.
I erased everything off my my flash drive. So I have just one flash drive, a big flash drive that I use just for music, videos, screenshots, images to go between my laptop and my PlayStation. And so I always have it empty. And for some reason today, it just... That's why, because we were going to live stream earlier, and then I was downloading it, so you can't use the PlayStation while it's downloading. So that's why I spent so much time probably watching live streams today, because I was just sitting here waiting for the frickin' PlayStation to download my video. So, yep. Anyways, it is what it is, but it's dark out, and James is past James's bedtime.
What?
Can I save it?
No,
Yes.
Can you save it and like render it or download it at night while you go to sleep?
No, I can't. I should have, but I'm not that organized, Happy. I'm not that organized. No. But anyways, we'll leave it there. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for putting up with us through Daytera Italica, and then putting up with us through Lone Oak. And the video looked pretty good. I think it stayed that ways.
I didn't see any real visual drop in quality. It looked a lot cleaner.
Yeah. And a big thank you to Jim Bob from Jim Bob Plays Games for coming in and chatting with us. It's always a pleasure to talk to him. I'm sure most of you know his channel, but if you don't, if you just happen to stop by here, go to Jim Bob Plays Games and subscribe to his channel.
One shout out, one shout out a week is enough.
Yeah, go
Give me another shout
go
out.
check out his channel. I watch his channel every day. I watch Mr. CDP's channel every day. The two PS4 players that I watch, and so go check that out as well. And now I am going to be watching Cows Go Moo's channel, even though he doesn't have any videos. But now you have to put up a video, Cows Go Moo. That's a requirement now.
That's the deal. If you ask for
that's how I got
subscribers, you
one.
have to give them something to watch.
You gotta give you something to watch. But Cows Go Moo, Brandon, Zach, Mr. Farmer, Marcus, you guys all, Donnie, especially you two, you guys all have a great night. Hope to see you again sometime soon. And take care.
Bye, guys.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.